In fact, one of the things that came out while you were in the jungle was that you'd been diagnosed with a form of autism.
Yes.
And a big conversation started, which you won't have seen, but over here,
Yeah.
as we watched, about, you know, whether it was fair to put you through some of that.
I had a lot of discussions with specialists beforehand. All the campmates go and see a psychologist beforehand. The psychologist is also there on site. And in addition, they had me go and see an autism specialist who I'm going back to see, I think, tomorrow, because they like to do sort of follow-ups.
But you were in your 50s when you were diagnosed.
No, let me think, it was 2003, so I was 40... No, it was 2005, I was 47.
Okay, so that's quite late. Were you aware that you might have a condition?
I was aware right from when I was a child that something was very unusual about me. I mean, I was going to see child psychiatrists by the time I was 6. Nobody could put a label on it. They just said I was maladjusted. In those days, people didn't realise that autism was a spectrum. This wasn't discovered until about the 1990s. And up until then, you thought of an autistic kid as non-verbal and very low functioning. And the fact that I could talk and could sort of actually go to school made people
and very
assume
high functioning as well, we should say, in some areas.
In some ways, yes. It's why they say it's a spectrum. There can be all sorts of things where, you know, you can be high functioning in some areas and low functioning in other areas.
So in terms of high functioning, obviously we see your quizzing.
Yes, absolutely.
What would you say is the downside of it for you?
Just simply I'm very bad at just sort of organising just practical things. I'm sort of your absent-minded professor type. I just remember that very first night in camp and just sort of looking at this ground sheet on the ground and this rolled-up bedroll and thinking, I can't begin to get my head around what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
I mean, I think somebody else untied the bedroll and put it down. And I think it was about 48 hours before I realised I'd actually got a sleeping bag. I actually just sort of crawled in under the ground sheet. But it's just sort of quite basic stuff, like keeping everything tidy.
And I know it's Asperger's, isn't it, that you have?
Yes, well, the difference, I think nowadays people tend to refer to it all as autism or high-functioning autism. The difference always used to be it would be labelled high-functioning autism if you were late in talking. And as far as anyone can remember, I talked at the normal age, which means it's Asperger's.
I see.
But the difference doesn't... People nowadays are tending to say autism all the time, so I'm starting doing that too.